Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Hey, and we're back here in studio. Brandon Rhymes, Captain Will Smith in studio with us as well. We're going to touch on this Tucker Carlson clip with Ice Cube, as well as Sam Bankman-Fried special treatment charges dropped. We're going to discuss that as well. Coming up here in just a moment, also, we're going to talk about his books as well, Falling from the Sky and Ditches to Riches. Captain Will Smith in studio. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here that we have here in Tampa Bay. Beautiful properties at 3416 Crepe Myrtle Drive in Hernando Beach. This is a waterfront beauty. Great opportunity for passive income. Crepe Myrtle Drive in Hernando Beach is a property that is on direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 1864 square feet. You have a totally remodeled, completely decorated, interior design done. Looks gorgeous. This is a turnkey short-term rental is allowed here at this property on Crepe Myrtle Drive. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. We did a price reduction also on 9731 San Vincent Way in Port Richey. This is another Pasco property here. San Vincent Way is a complete whole house remodel 1.5 years ago, top to bottom, down to the studs, new roof, high impact windows, new AC, new air ducts. All electric components are new as well. Hot water heater appliances. 9731 San Vincent Way, Port Richey. And you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
This is God's country.
Quick shout out to our friend Ramin Kazami over there at Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. If you're looking to clean up your properties, residential, commercial, reach out to HeightsSoftWash.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers. HeightsSoftWash.com. All right, Captain Will, welcome back, sir.
Good afternoon.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Been traveling a lot?
Past 2 weeks, I've been all over the U.S. 7 days, over 9,000 miles from here to the heartland, to Colorado, to the Northeast corridor and back.
I got to pull up that. I should have that queued up, that Johnny Cash song. I've been everywhere, man.
Yes,
that
I have.
So you've been traveling a lot. So that's your business, though. You're a private pilot. You take people around.
Yep, I fly their aircraft for them. They move me around commercially, which it's tolerable. I love private, and our business is growing. We're getting ready to merge with a full-blown charter company here soon. We got a meeting at the end of the month, and that's going to just take us to another level.
Cool.
To where we'll have private jets that we can, and what our company is doing, since it's going to be owner-operated with myself, I'm going to be able to allow other people that want to still enjoy the charter, but at $500 an hour less than what they're paying now. And when you're doing trips that are 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, you're saving a significant amount of money with that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I love that. The books are doing well?
Yes, I got a meeting tomorrow with a capital investment team about Falling from Our Sky, our venture we started a couple of years ago. They're very interested in the story and want to see something positive happening instead of the demasculating of white men. They want to see, why is it not okay for a white man to beat the system?
Yeah.
And they're wanting to get behind that. Because this past couple of years, 2 or 3 years, has just been bashing on the white man.
Right, and you had a couple of producers that were talking about helping, but they didn't actually.
They didn't follow through because it was because of the reason, because the temperature wasn't right with the demographics that's going on with all this crap that's happening with these this diversity and all that nonsense.
Yeah, the DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion.
Right.
So they use that as a
excuse not to produce it. I was
exactly.
And it's BS.
It really is.
I can't help what happened 300 years ago. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
That's not who. No, I wasn't. I didn't own anybody. I don't have anything to do with that.
Yep.
Why are you blaming me for it?
Did you see that study that came out, by the way, of all the living presidents? They all had links to slave ownership.
Yep.
Except one, and he's on your hat there that you're wearing.
Yes, that's true.
DJT.
Mr. Trump. Yep. Exactly.
Donald J. Trump.
Exactly.
I want to play a clip since we're on the topic of race. Since we have a supply-demand problem in this country. That the left, the media, the mainstream media, the elites, they want more demand, but it's just not there. There's just not enough supply. I mean, They have the demand, but there's not enough supply. So supply-demand problem in the United States for racism. And here's Ice Cube talking with Tucker Carlson about it as well.
We've been talking almost all day now. You haven't mentioned race a single time. We've mentioned economics, rich and poor, a number of times. Do you think that we overplay the role of racial conflict in American life?
Yes. I think race, it takes up too much space. There's people that we all have in our lives who are same race that we can't stand.
I like how you
There's
said
people
that.
in our lives from other races that we get along with way better. So it's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that. It's about who do you connect with? You know, who do you vibrate with? You know what I mean?
I
Who's
do.
on the same wavelength? Who wants to be the same kind of person? Who wants to do the right thing when you want to do the right thing? That's who you connect with. So I think a lot of people make a lot of money off of the racists fighting against each other and bickering.
They sure do.
Yep, I agree with it. That man brought himself up out of poverty and became very, very successful.
American success story.
Yeah, and when you do that, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. When
Right.
you have to struggle and you have to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and actually make something happen for yourself and your family.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
That's you getting off your lazy butt and making something of your life. And that's one of the books I wrote about. Get
Yeah.
up off your lazy butt and do something. You know,
But he pointed out the main issue too. It's not white,
Right.
black, you know.
Right.
And when you get into those colors, you start talking about. Let's talk about blue collar. Let's talk about how the blue collar. If you want to talk about a color, the
Right.
blue collar people in this country have been overlooked, and especially with Biden's. Fake promise. He did a fake promise to be able to buy boats relating to student loans.
Right.
Oh, we're going to get rid of these student loans. No, you're not. You can't do it. You knew you
Can't.
couldn't do
Yep.
it, but you
Right.
lied about it to people's face, and just like you got caught lying with Devin Archer's testimony.
Yep.
We're not even going to that linked right now. But when you think about, it's more about the economics, right? It's the middle class, the lower, the low class, very poverty level ridden people, the middle class, and then versus the elites. These elites are doing all these things behind the scenes to try to paint a picture where it's one party that's the other way around. But
Yep.
it's really, and you kind of see that with Kamala Harris this week, talking about the curriculum and the schools. I mean, this is a good segue into this, the history curriculum. They pointed out, the Florida Department of Education pointed out the fact that, yes, when people were in slavery, by the way, our country ended slavery.
Yep.
The Republican Party ended slavery.
Yep.
Abraham Lincoln ended slavery, and of course his allies. But when you look at that, she goes around. She went to Jacksonville, starts touting all these lies and half truths and false, and she's saying, in essence, that what we were putting forward as far as Florida Board of Education, the Florida Board of Education was talking about the fact that these people learned agricultural work trades. They learned how to tailor,
Right.
blacksmith,
Yep.
all these other skill sets that, yes, they could be used and they could pass them down generations.
Exactly.
So what do they want to admit? That they wanted to omit that, take that out of the whole.
That's just how they are. They're poisoning the younger generation's minds to believe that, and that's how Democrats are. They started slavery.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are the biggest slave owners and the biggest racists that I know.
They started the KKK.
They started all of that, and they still are enslaving people by keeping them stupid.
Yeah.
And that's what slavery is about. You weren't as a slave when the Democrats, enslaved all these people. It was like they didn't want them to get an education.
Yep.
Well, they're doing the same thing now.
Yep.
We're going back in time.
Yep.
And history will repeat itself. And Abraham Lincoln said that if we don't learn from it. And that's what the Democrats are trying to do. We just need to completely eradicate and get rid of all the Democrats, because all they are is a cancer to America, and they do not need to be involved in our children and what this country is all about.
Well, there's some good centrist people that I can get along with. The ones that are on the far radical side that are pushing this radical critical race theory, things of that nature. Those are the ones that there's the old joke too that God created two genders, Democrats created the others.
Yes.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But here's a great quote from Abraham as well. He says, "Be sure to put your feet in the right place. then stand firm.
Correct.
That's the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. But we're talking with Captain Will Smith here, Will Smith Aviation on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check him out online, willsmithaviation.com. Also, you can see consumerqb.com for links to all of our expert contributors. And that's the goal of this show. We want to be that consumer advocate to help you understand your buying decisions, help you understand real estate credit, finance, estate, and tax planning. We've got all types of different industry leaders and experts. Mike Murphy Auto Group, going to be on tomorrow's show. Just another great example. Denison Yachting, another great example. So we can help you no matter what you're facing out there. Just reach out to the show, and we will plug you in to our attorneys, our CPAs, financial advisors, Second Amendment experts, concealed carry, self-defense. So many ways we can help you here. 727-263-3707. Just call or text the hotline. It's 727-263-3707, brimes@kw.com. So, Captain Will Smith, what else you seeing out there, man?
Well, I've been doing a lot of flying. One thing I haven't seen is UFOs.
Okay.
So I just keep on seeing a lot of talk on
There is
TV,
a lot about it.
in Congress, but I still, after 25 years, I have yet to see any UFO. I don't know if...
But some people have, right, Alex? I mean, have you seen... I've seen some of the videos.
They say that... I just haven't seen it. I'm just speaking from... I haven't seen it. Maybe they're scared of me. You know, maybe they...
They don't want anything to do with Captain Will Smith. What about your thoughts,
Well,
Alex?
here's the deal. Well, I know you may have not have seen an unidentified flying object, but I know you've walked through Ybor before, man. You've never seen aliens?
Yeah,
Dude, look at some of these people, man. They're aliens, man. Come on.
Yeah, they definitely have had a lobotomy or two.
Well, you know, there's video though. You know, I guess a lot of these military aircraft have the video on there. I mean, you can see the things like they're gone, they're off the screen, or they're moving like in these. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
And
a
that
lot
no
of the
human
encounters-
being could to withstand those type of G-forces to be able to go that fast and stop and then move in a second direction.
Right.
And that's amazing to myself as well. But I just personally have never seen any small aircraft or little green people running around, except if you're in Ybor City, you can see anything down there.
Yeah.
But you know, I haven't. That doesn't mean it's not there. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm a type of person. I'm the doubting Thomas. You have to prove to me and show me before I'll believe.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. It's interesting too because there was also some testimony from someone on. I heard the story. I didn't really follow it that closely, but there was testimony in Congress just recently about that. Like they something like they admitted that yes, it was a how did they say it? A non-human,
a non-biological
something
person,
like that. Or
so human biologics or something along that. And these are F-6, F-18 Air Force pilots that are so they have a lot of credit when it comes to them. I've just never seen it.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's come back. I want to talk about Sam Bankman-Fried, his special treatment. He dropped some charges. He just happened to be a pretty high level, and I think it was like number 1 or number 2 Democrat Party contributor for their campaign. So let's examine that story when we come back. More with Captain Will Smith here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
Welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, PlatinumCoastalElite.com. A couple of hot listings here for this segment, and then more with Captain Will Smith. 1050 Farmingdale, another beautiful property, Farmingdale Lane, Newport Richey. We've got a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage, pool home here. 2217 square feet, corner lot location, open floor plan. Height, you got beautiful ceiling heights, in the ceilings there, natural light. Kitchen with black marble countertops with white cabinetry. Updated modern elegance of white porcelain tile floors throughout the home. Black marble tile fireplace. Luxurious focal point to the room. 1050 Farmingdale Lane, Newport Richey. One of our hot real estate listings. Commercial property at 7202 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is a corner lot location. Now, what you have here is 2 separate businesses operating. You've got a barber shop, which could easily be converted to a CPA, attorney, real estate title, insurance company, office. And then you also have a muffler and brakes tune-up, so a mechanic shop there as well. Great commercial asset. You got a newer roof here as well. 2-building parcel 7202 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview, Florida. You can see all of our listings, platinumcoastalelite.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, we got Captain Will Smith in the house. I want to get to the Sam Bankman-Fried SBF special treatment. Charges are dropped, and I think we had a meme that we were going to show here. Yeah, so we pulled this offline. It was at 1776 Revolutionist. So it says, U.S. drops charges against Sam Bankman-Fried, and it's got a picture of him. He stole $93 million, largest donor to Democrats. That's all you need to know. And then it goes on to talk about justice is an illusion on that. But yeah, it just kind of shows you got like Silicon Bank, the bank failure with Silicon Bank as well. That was, of course, California. That had a lot of, Democrat money flowing through it. Basically, these tech firms and these other high risk loans that were out there. But yeah, it definitely is. You see it in all aspects, criminal law. These types of cases involving high dollar amounts. You see this two-tier justice system, not just against President Trump, but also the attacks against Rudy Giuliani, the midnight raids against the whole team, Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro. They are literally going after their enemies.
Yep, they are, and that's just how they eat their own. We know that. We see that. It's happening right now. And if you don't agree with them, then they just want to go after you and just pummel you and destroy you. But I'm the type of person that I had a Democratic judge try to do that to me, and she bit off way more than she could chew. Because I stand up, I have a spine, and you're not going to push me around.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that more of our parties want to start doing that too, and start slamming these guys into the ground and put them in prison where they belong.
Yeah.
Because I know that this Sam Bankman clown, he needs to spend some time in a prison.
Yeah, he's at his mommy's house right now.
Yeah, well, see, he needs a one-way ticket out to the middle of the Pacific Ocean is what he needs.
Yeah. These guys are, but it's crazy. Like, if anybody else did what Hunter Biden did, or SBF, or, the list is on and on. If a normal, regular, ordinary Joe would do that, we would face the absolute consequences immediately.
Yes.
It wouldn't be, you're on house arrest at your mommy's house, and you get out and go to these places, and none of that.
Yeah, these are kids that grew up in the timeout era. They didn't get their tails beat enough. Us Gen X's, we were the last of a great era, and now we're dealing with all the handle with kid gloves generation. And it's just, this kid needs to go spend some time in prison. Hunter Biden, he's never going to change. He needs to go spend a lot of time in prison. And it's just, until we start putting these people behind bars where they belong, stop putting the innocent behind bars, and start putting the guilty behind bars.
Yeah.
Because that's what the judicial system was originally founded for. Fair and equal justice. I don't see that anymore. You got these liberals, you got these leftists, you got these Democrats. They're all nothing but a cancer to this country, and we need to eradicate them and get rid of them.
Yeah. Again, some of the centrist people in the middle, you can still have an argument with these types of people, and still, in a lot of cases you can get to a common ground. But the radical has taken over that party. Yeah. I agree with you there. You have Kennedy, running for president. His father was shot, and he's got all these different stories, but he's picking a couple of big enemies, big pharma. He's going after some of these big, going after FBI and some of these different places. So it's tough.
Well, it's how he was brought up and raised. That generation, the Democratic Party no longer represents the party of Kennedy.
Right.
They don't. They are so far from that, it doesn't even exist.
Yep.
And it's like having an arm that you don't have any use for anymore. You got to cut it off. You got to get rid of it.
Well, here's where it gets me, too. Think about this. Here, I'm going to play this clip, and then I want to get your response to it.
Basic principle, let's not sell our oil that's here to keep us safe
Cruz.
To our enemies that are not there to keep us safe. We forced a vote in the Senate last week. This was an amendment that was authored by me and Joe Manchin, so it was bipartisan. And
Strategic oil reserves.
You know what the lineup was on the amendment? What do you think? There were two other senators that were the lead sponsors. Take a guess.
Oh, gosh, I'm trying to think here. It would be, you said Joe Manchin. I'm going to laugh. Can I throw out a curveball?
Yeah.
Mitt Romney.
No, but that'd be a good guess. Mitt voted for it.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think. You're stumping me here. I was like, all right, I got to go with a really good name here.
Okay, so I'll give you even better than that. So number one, we had Joni Ernst, which is not shocking. Joni's a good friend. We do a lot together. And John Fetterman. So this was Cruise Mansion Ernst Fetterman.
That's interesting. That's an interesting dinner right there. Y'all should do that.
So we had a vote on it. Do you know what the vote was?
What was it?
85-14. So we didn't just win. We won by a massive margin.
So they're saying no more selling our strategic oil reserves. By the way, we're at the lowest amount of oil that we've ever had in reserves in a pretty turbulent time, you might think.
That's because
with Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah,
right?
You got to get all the geriatrics out of office, and we need to have somebody there that actually knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
And until we do that, we're going to continue to deal with this. Why don't we just give all our weapons to our enemies and say, here you go, guys, have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of moron sitting in the White House does something so stupid?
Yeah.
I mean, you got two bumbling idiots, a vice president and a president, that don't know what the hell they're doing.
They're not even in charge.
I know.
Everybody knows who's running the country right now.
You got AOC.
We got about a minute left here.
She's running the country. All her leftists.
Well, Hussein is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hussein's running it.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. But, let's take about the last minute here. Will, I wanted you to talk a little bit about Cons Helping Cons and how people can get in touch with you.
So, Cons Helping Cons, we just got someone that came from your radio show that we're helping out.
Yep.
And it's a lady here locally, so we're helping them transition. Thomas Young, we're still waiting to hear back from a grant that we applied for from Tallahassee, but we're going to take that and help fathers and men become better fathers and husbands when they're transitioning.
Yeah.
And Thomas works on the side of the employment. I work with my transition program, Ditches to Riches, my workbook. I've been working with also recovering addicts as well, and they've gotten a lot out of that, alcohol or addiction, on just how do you get your life back when that's destroyed your life. Coming out of prison is the same thing. You have nothing. You're trying to gain things back work-wise, and becoming a better person and a better father or a husband. So that's where our main focus is, and we're having a lot of success that I see through it, and people saying, hey, I'm dealing with someone that's been where I've been, and they understand what I'm going through. And that's what's important, and that's how we reach out.
Connect with you on Instagram, or how do you want people to connect?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Captain Will Smith. I'm also CaptainWillSmith.com. And if you want to get into aviation, our management company is growing, our charter company is growing, check us out at WillSmithAviation.com.
All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank attorney Millie Athanison, Captain Will Smith, all of our producers, Alex as well. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play.